What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the High Value Agent Podcast, where we inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And do you want to win big? Do you want to win so freaking big that you silence all your haters, you make your family proud, you make yourself proud, and you're actually able to build something that's worth building? However, you're just inconsistent. You're not seeing the momentum because you start and stop. You start and stop. That is you. You need to watch this video. You need to make sure you take notes. I'm going to break down for you the formula, the ingredients to create success, not only in your real estate business, in your life, based on a formula. Okay. The formula that the highest level producers in any field that you can think of, okay, but for sure real estate, follow to actually generate momentum. Here's the reality: momentum is so hard to build. It's hard to get into momentum. I mean, it's grit, it's hustle, it's work ethic, it's being consistent, right? And yet it's so easy to lose. So I'm gonna break this down for you because what I want is for you to win and to win big. Whatever winning looks like for you, that's what I want you to experience this year because your wins and your success is going to leave clues and inspire the next person. And if we can get more people winning and feeling good that, hey, I can do this, and they got the skill set to be more consistent, then we're all winning. Okay. Let's get into it. So, whatever your goal is, at this point, you made your business plan. Um, you know what it is you want to achieve in the new year. Okay. We got all that dialed in. And if you haven't yet, you are 3 months behind, my friend. Okay. Remember, real estate is a 90-day business. So any closings that you have for this month, the work that created those opportunities happened 90 days plus ago. Okay. The work that you do today, you're not closing a deal today from any work that you do today. Okay. However, you can and will close deals 90 days from now from the work that you do today. So, number one, we need to establish that foundational belief that this is a 90-day business. So every single day that you do not do the thing or you don't do what is required, then 90 days from now, you're going to feel the pain. Okay. And so it's okay, do I feel the pain now of doing the boring, uncomfortable work? Or do I feel the pain later when I can't, have the income or the closings to pay my bills? Right. Or to maybe bills are paid, but you don't have the residual income to do the other things. It's number one, get very clear on knowing what type of business you're in. It is a lagging industry. It is a lagging industry. It's number one. I want us to, and this is also a part of number one, because understanding that's how the industry works, but then also understanding, why are you showing up every single day? Why are you showing up every single day? What gets you out of bed to show up and do the work? Because real estate is hard. It is. Business is hard. Growing during a uncertain time is hard. Growing through a certain time, right, where there's a lot of certainty in the market and the economy is great, and buyers are flooding the market and sellers are, when things like just feel great, it's still hard to do. Okay. Real estate is hard. Why are you getting up every morning to do this stuff? Who are you doing it for? This year, when you look back, let's say 12 months from now, and you reflect on the previous year, okay, what would have to happen in your personal life that would make your heart sing and it was a result of the work that you've done in your business? Let me ask it again. A year from now, what would change in your personal life as a result of the real estate business, the work that you're doing in your business? What do you want to change? Some examples could be, I want to pay off debt. I got $50,000 of school. debt that I want to pay off. And if I paid that off, it would help improve the relationship with me and my family because we would have less financial arguments and struggle. Okay. I want to pay off my car. I want to buy a house. I want to take my family to Disney World. Whatever, what is that for you? And again, let's not think 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. All right. The ultra successful have short-term commitments and goals that they're shooting to reach. Sure, do they know what 10 years from now, do they have an idea where they want to be 5 years from now, 3 years? 100%. But that's a little more foggy because things could change. Heck, you could evolve into a mindset to where that's not even relevant anymore. What's 5 years or 10 years from now? But what can happen over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months? That's crystal clear. That's crystal clear. It's equivalent to your eyesight, right? Some, like an eagle can look, I don't know how many miles, right? But they can see much further in the distance. For us, we can only see so far, and we can see very clearly. Some of us may need glasses or contacts, right? Just stay with me. Some people, we can see very clearly what's 5 feet in front of us, 10 feet, 50 feet in front of us. Looking 10 years from now, that's blurry. So focus on this year. Okay. Why are we waking up? What are we doing this for? What's going to change in our personal life as a result of the real estate business? Because if you got something that has teeth in it, that's going to drive you forward. Even on days where you lack the motivation, motivation comes from within, right? Nobody can motivate you. Okay. Inspiration can be more external, right? You can see something that inspires you, right? And when we talk about having both, and even in days, because you can create motivation and inspiration yourself, you got to build the skill to do so. How you can do that is making sure that your why has enough teeth that you could be feeling sick, you could be feeling terrible. You still get up and do what is required because you know why you're doing it. For example, here's a real life example. I right now feel like crap. I've had a fever, I've had, sickness, and I've been sick for the past few days. I'm not eating as much. I like just rough, right? And didn't sleep well last night. I mean, it was, but here I am. Here I am because I have a mission. I have a mission, and I show up regardless. I show up regardless. Whether I'm at the office, which in this case I'm not, because I don't want to get nobody else sick. I'm still here, and the reason why I'm here is because I have a strong why. Strong why. My why is to bring change, create breakthroughs, and empower growth. And that's for everyone. I do this podcast for that reason. I want to help empower you to grow, to be better. I want my team to be able to go home to their families and they look their kids and their in or their spouse, or they look themselves in the mirror and they have fulfillment because they're growing their life. They're becoming better humans. The money is going to follow that, right? I'm here because I want to be an example for my children. I want to be a great leader for my wife. I want my wife to continue to look at me with admiration. Like I want to be a positive force for good in my community. That's my why. That's my why. Now, for you, you can have that whether it's on your phone that you review every single day, a photo, whatever it may be. You have to review that to be very clear and review that every single day. You recommit every single day. You don't make one commitment for the year. It's okay, today I'm committed to doing the plan, following the roadmap, doing the plan. Okay. Whatever that is for you. You execute, you feel good about yourself. We call that a win, right? And then You do the same thing the next morning. You recommit. And when you do that, you stack days. You're stacking wins and you're stacking days. You can't win a year if first you don't win a month. You can't win a month or the months unless you win the weeks. You can't win the weeks unless you win the days. Okay. All right. Now we got to get crystal clear on what activities are required for us to hit X goal or our commitment for the year. The why. Okay. Now, the income required to be able to hit the goal, the commitment. Okay. The one thing, the why. How much money do you need? How much money do you need? And again, like through doing this, because I don't want this all to be about money, right? I mean, this is about building a life. And it's very difficult to build a great life if you don't have money. However, I don't want to minimize the importance of personal development, who you become through this journey, right? Who you become. That's priceless. Can't put a number on that, right? That's stuff you can money you don't own anyways. Like that shit is that stuff is rented. Nobody can take away your skills and your experience, right? But maybe you got to pay off debt. Maybe it's $50,000 of debt. How much money do you need to be able to take care of your household financially, right? Have the money you need to pay your taxes, to maybe, a little money aside. Obviously, you want to make sure you have an emergency account, all that good stuff, right? For a rainy day. But then now you need additional money, okay, so how much money is that to make sure that you can float your bills, you have an emergency fund, and you have additional money to pay off debt? Now you may have $50,000 debt and you're like, okay, I don't need to pay off the full 50 in 1 year. However, if I could pay off 20,000 in 1 year, that's a big chunk compared to what I've been able to do previously. Great, let's get it. Maybe it's even five, maybe it's 10. I want you to think big, but also be realistic based on your commitment level, right? So, but let's say it's 50,000, you're all in to make it happen. So let's say total income you need is $150,000, right? 150,000. Cool. Now, on your end, you need to make sure that on your personal finances and all that stuff, that you got a budget and you're tracking that stuff and you're being disciplined there, right? You got to be a very disciplined CFO in your expenses, 100%. Outside of that, though, we're very clear on what the income goal is. Now we need to understand how many closings we need to earn the $150,000. Now, this is where you should be tracking your data. And if you've been listening to me for a while, I'm a huge advocate of tracking your data. What gets measured and improves. What you track will improve. Okay. So you got to get very clear on that. Let's just make up a number. Let's say you want to make $150,000. Um, you don't live in a market to where you have $100 million price point. Let's say in order to make $150,000, you got to do 35 deals. Okay. 35 deals. Cool. So you got to do 35 deals. Now we need a reverse engineer to see how many people we need to get under contract, how many appointments we need to sign and meet with and set. Then how many conversations we need. When I say a conversation, 2 minute conversation on a phone call, that's a conversation for my definition, a 2 minute phone call, right? How many conversations do I need to set an appointment? How many appointments do I need to set to meet with somebody? How many people do I need to meet with to sign? How many do I need to sign to get under contract? So you reverse engineer. Now, there's some tech stacks and systems that you can use that make this a lot easier for you. Okay. So if you're starting from scratch and you don't have any data, then a great here's what I would say. A general rule of thumb is this, just to get you started. I don't want you to, it's the general rule of thumb. Okay. Let's say you got to do 35 I'm sorry. 35 deals. Cool. If you want to do 35 deals, that is the number of conversations that you need to have per week. That's the number of conversations you need to have per week. So if you want to do 35 deals, you need to be having 35 2-minute conversations per week. That's a good starting point for you. And then once you start building your data, like tracking your own data or using some of these systems, then you'll be able to see your actual data. You'll have some historical data over time. For right now, 35 deals, you need 35 conversations per week, 35 2-minute conversations. Okay. Now, once we have that established, it's about being consistent and doing the thing. So I want you to take that. And if you're on a team, or if you are in a brokerage, obviously you should be part of a brokerage. If you're not on a team, you're at least a part of a brokerage. Or you find people that are, and this would be ideal, find people that you admire, like their work ethic and what they're doing in real estate, and connect with them. And if you already know them, it should be a little easier to say, "Hey, I want to publicly declare to you what I'm going to be doing on a daily basis. Would you be my accountability partner?" So I want you to seek accountability, preferably with someone who you deem to be slightly above, as far as like maybe production and mindset and all that stuff. Find that person. Now, here's the thing. The reason why I say slightly above is because if you go find somebody who is like an elite extreme performer, let's say this person's doing 100 deals a year, right? The good news is most of the time, those people understand the law of reciprocity. And I'm going to be careful with this. Most of the time, they're going to lead with contribution. They're going to have a heart to give back, right? So I think that person would be willing to do that, right? As long as you are going to be committed to doing it. Because if that 100 deal per year producer says yes to hold you accountable, and literally every single day you're not hitting your commitment, at some point that person's going to be like, "Listen, man, you're not really on nothing. You're not committed. I'm wasting my time. I got to get back to my stuff," right? So if you got somebody like that in your office or on your team in your market, reach out to them and see if you could set up accountability between you and that person. The person slightly in front of you, I think, will be probably have a little more of the free time. I don't want to say free time, a little more capacity to do that. And that person probably is also trying to grow to the next level as well. Right. So I think that person will be a good fit for you as well. But reach out to both. And you're going to set up accountability. And this is so simple. This is not about condemnment. This is not about judgment. It's none of that. Accountability is love. This is an opportunity for you to contribute to somebody else's future and for that person to reciprocate it back to you. And through this accountability partnership, you guys are going to it's going to be hard to let each other down. So you guys are going to be more consistent over time. You can wake up in the morning, and even though you're very clear on your why, you could still, you know what, I'm going to sleep in a little bit today, and I think I'm going to wake up here. I mean, you're supposed to wake up at 5. Now you're waking up at 9. Why? Because it's easier to let yourself down. It's going to be hard to let your accountability partner down when you're supposed to be having a check in at 8, right? And then another check-in at 9 to see how many conversations you got so far, right? And so when you can set it up that way, it's going to be extremely beneficial for you and your accountability partner. Extremely beneficial. Set that up, and here's how I would do it. Get very clear on what your schedule is, share that with your accountability partner, and have them share theirs with you. And what you're going to do is every prospecting hour, you're going to do a check-in with each other. If your number is 7 conversations a day, 5 days a week, well then you know that if you're prospecting, I don't know, 2 hours that day, that you need to be at 3 to 4 conversations per hour, right? And so, like, let's say you started at 8, at 9 o'clock, you're both going to text each other. And even more powerful, if you can prospect together, wow, even more powerful. Talk about collaboration, talk about like being able to learn from each other's experiences, powerful. But if not, no biggie. Every hour you're going to do a quick check-in. Where are you at on conversations? I'm at 2. Awesome. We needed to be at least 3. What got in the way? That's all you got to do. You don't, no condemnment, no judgment. It's just what got in the way. Okay. And then you're just going to recommit for the next hour. And then do an evening check-in, whether that's 5, 6, 7, 8, it doesn't matter. Do an evening check-in, just breaking down, here's my total conversation count. And you're going to do that every workday. Okay. Every workday. No guilt. It's going to be a feeling of growth and collaboration. Now, if you commit to doing this every single day, every work day, I can guarantee you, you're going to complete your mission at the end of the year. You're going to. It's going to involve you stepping out of your comfort zone to connect with number one, everything that I said before, but then also stepping out of your comfort zone and connecting with somebody and then asking for that feedback, asking for that accountability and embracing it. Okay. This is what the game requires if you want to be consistent so that you can win big this year. This is what it takes. Okay. So again, get clear on your why. Understand this is the 90-day business. So you gotta understand that. Get clear on your why. Your income required to be able to hit the goal that you want to hit, right? What would happen as a result in what in your personal life would change as a result of the real estate business. Get very clear on the income required to be able to make that happen for you. And then at that point, you got to get clear on your numbers, on your data. Then you set up the accountability structure. And then now it's time to take action every single workday. Okay. Cool. All right. Be powerful as always. Like, comment, subscribe, leave us a review. I do this because I want to. This is my mission. Like I said, I'm here because I'm committed. I'm committed to serving y'all, giving you guys everything you need, your daily vitamins of growth, so then you guys can win big this year. Be strong. If there's anything I can do to support you, reach out to me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.